first semester we did analysing documentaries, where we learnt more about sound and the different elements of filmmaking.
Yeah, I guess the seminar tasks that we had given each week, where you get given like a small task and you basically have full creative freedom on what you then do. Usually like a short, like 1 minute, 30-second thing. And although at the time you're kind of like, they don't seem that significant, it's more about the skills that you're learning, which you then do apply at the end of the year on your bigger projects.
I think for stage 2, my favorite module is Gareth's identity module, because each week he taught us a very heavy theoretical issue.
We also did film theory in first semester, and then we went on to do it again second semester, and I really loved that module because we did more fiction films and learned about that.
I think that module opens up the way for me to inspect the world around me and unpack the issues that's happening right now using those heavy theories.
Well, I did the semester abroad in stage 2. So I went to Lillehammer in Norway for 5 or 6 months and kind of had the best time ever, and would really, really recommend it to anyone else.
And then going into second semester, I really liked the 2 practical modules there. Had quite a few challenges making those films, but it was a great learning experience and definitely carried me forward to third year and gave me some really valuable experiences to build on in future.
In stage 2, I made a film about a beauty salon in Newcastle city centre. I think the task was I think we all got given a time slot from sunrise to sunset. I think mine was early evening. And it had to be about Newcastle with some description, and that was the brief basically. So complete freedom on that. And we chose the beauty salon to look at sort of the Geordie culture, but it ended up to be more about sort of like identity of the self rather than of Newcastle.
Ideas to Screen, I think the main thing that's really good about Ideas to Screen is the idea that you can pick pretty much any subject you want. You've got quite a blank creative license to make a film of your choice.
They let us to have more experimental to the non-fiction films instead of just a normal documentary. So it's more artistic and abstract. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that new module. Yeah.
We got put in teams where I was director producer. We had a cinematographer, a sound person, an editor, and it's cool working in a team because although you're in that role, you do get to do all of the jobs, and you need to, because sometimes someone won't be able to make a shoot, sometimes you have to film because someone else won't be able to.
I really learned a lot about filmmaking and learned a lot from my mistakes that I made in films previously. I really learned about patience, and I learned how to film sound as well, which I hadn't done before.
The highlight was definitely just learning lots of different ways of looking at film, different ways of looking at cinema, and more than anything that encourages you to think differently in your own filmmaking and think about different ways of applying what you've learned and different ways of thinking about things. So whether that's starting right at the beginning with Eisenstein, Soviet film theory and Budovkin, and thinking about ways of cutting images together and the meaning that conveys. Or whether it's thinking about postmodernist or even cognitive filmmakers who are really interested in narrative and ways of bending narratives and shifting time and chronology to make films more interesting and different, and just have a different perspective on cinema and what it means to make a film.
I really liked the experimental films because you could see the different avenues that everyone was interested in, and it was kind of an opportunity for everyone to kind of go or find the direction that they wanted to follow.